Namaskaram. Welcome to Dharmasvara. Do you wonder why do some people stay stuck even when they want to grow? Why do some repeatedly return to the same habits, the same fears, the same self-doubt, even after deciding to change? Have you ever told yourself, I won't react like this again. I won't procrastinate this time. I will stay calm the next time this happens. And yet, when the situation comes, you react exactly the same way. Modern psychology calls this conditioning. Sanatana Dharma goes deeper. It says that what you call mindset is built from three underlying forces: Vasana, Shraddha, and Vairagya. Let us begin with Vasana. A Vasana is not a thought. It is the tendency behind a thought. For example, two people receive critical feedback at work. One immediately feels threatened, defensive, dismissive. Another becomes curious. What can I learn from this? The situation is identical. The reaction is not. Because the Vasana is not. Repeated fear of judgment can create a defensive Vasana. Repeated learning from mistakes can create a growth-oriented Vasana. Repeated exposure to financial scarcity can create a poverty mindset. Repeated problem solving can cultivate an abundance mindset. These are not personality traits. They are conditioned tendencies, patterns formed by repetition. So how do Vasanas change? This is where Shraddha becomes important. Shraddha is often translated as faith, but here it is better understood as sustained attention toward a chosen direction. For example, imagine you want to become less reactive. You decide, the next time I feel anger, I will pause before responding. But the next time anger arises, you forget, because attention was not trained. Shraddha is what allows you to remember in the moment. It is the repeated act of placing awareness where you want change to occur. If you want to cultivate discipline, Shraddha is the practice of consistently bringing your attention back to what matters, even when distraction appears easier. Modern neuroscience confirms this. Repeated focus stabilizes new neural pathways. Over time, new samskaras form, new vasanas emerge. But here is the challenge. Old vasanas do not disappear easily. Even after developing new habits, old reactions may reappear. For example, you begin saving money consistently, but when stress appears, you impulsively spend. The old scarcity-based vasana returns. This is where Vairagya becomes essential. Vairagya is not suppression. It is not indifference. It is the ability to observe a conditioned impulse without automatically acting on it. For example, you feel the urge to check your phone while working. Earlier, you would respond instantly. Now, you notice the urge and wait. You do not obey it immediately. That moment of non-reaction is Vairagya. Each time you refrain from reinforcing an old pattern, you weaken it. Each time you respond differently, you strengthen a new one. This is how deconditioning occurs. Vasana creates tendency. Shraddha directs attention. Vairagya interrupts reinforcement. Together, they form a feedback loop for mindset change. And here is where Vedic practices become relevant. Mantra repetition, meditative reflection, disciplined attention are not rituals alone. They are structured interventions into this loop. For example, if your mind tends toward anxiety, specific calming mantras can stabilize breath and redirect attention. If you struggle with indecision, mantras associated with clarity can help reduce mental noise. If you repeatedly react with frustration, mantra repetition creates a pause between stimulus and response. Over time, this pause weakens impulsive vasanas and strengthens chosen responses. In modern terms, you are training attention, interrupting habit, rewiring behavior. In traditional terms, you are reshaping Vasana, strengthening Shraddha, practicing Vairagya. Over time, this shifts how you respond to challenge, to uncertainty, to opportunity. And what we now call a success mindset emerges not from motivation, but from repeated alignment. Because mindset is rarely tested when everything is going well. It is tested when you are tired, you are uncertain, you are rejected, or something does not go as planned. For example, you start a new venture. For the first few weeks, you are enthusiastic, you are consistent, but then a client cancels, a payment is delayed, a mistake is pointed out, and suddenly your mind says, "This is not working. Maybe I am not cut out for this. I should stop before this gets worse." This is not logical analysis. This is Vasana speaking, a tendency formed by past disappointment, past failure, past fear. Shraddha is what helps you notice this voice without immediately obeying it. You remember, I chose to respond differently this time. And then comes the difficult part, Vairagya, the ability to not reinforce the reaction, to not quit immediately, to not retaliate, to not abandon effort in that moment of discomfort. Each time you pause, each time you stay aligned with your chosen response, you weaken the old tendency and strengthen the new one. Consider another situation. You decide to improve your health. You commit to waking up early. For 2 days, it works. On the third day, you feel tired. Your mind suggests, "Just today, sleep in. You deserve rest. You can start again tomorrow." Again, this is Vasana, a conditioned inclination toward immediate comfort. Shraddha helps you remember your intention. Vairagya helps you not obey the urge automatically. You still feel tired, but you do not reinforce avoidance. You act anyway. Over time, what once required effort becomes natural. This is the shift from discipline to disposition, from effort to tendency, from decision to mindset. Now consider emotional reactions. Someone criticizes your work. Earlier, you may have reacted with anger or withdrawal, but now, through attention and reflection, you notice the surge of irritation. You notice the tightening in the body, and you pause. You do not deny the reaction. You do not suppress it. You simply do not reinforce it. That moment of observation is Vairagya in action. Repeated over time, this reduces emotional reactivity and increases cognitive flexibility. In modern language, you become less impulsive. In traditional language, the Vasana weakens. This is why Vedic practices emphasize repetition. Mantra chanting, breath awareness, meditative reflection are not symbolic acts. They are training protocols. Each repetition stabilizes attention. Each pause interrupts conditioning. Each moment of restraint reduces reinforcement of the past. And eventually, what you once called mindset has changed. So perhaps the question is not, how do I become successful? But what tendencies am I reinforcing? And what impulses am I choosing not to repeat? Because mindset is not built in a moment. It is cultivated through attention and restraint. If this perspective resonated with you, tell me, should we go deeper into how mantra supports Shraddha, how meditation builds Vairagya, or how karma sustains Vasana? Let me know in the comments. Some practices are not symbolic, they are structural. Until next time, Namaskaram.